Yes, hello tradies. Welcome to the Air Raid Siren. It is the segment in which the pod, in fact, Mitch and I get to talk about something non-trade related. I have a feeling we've got the same thing on the agenda today.
Usually we don't check with each other before the siren sound and the stinger at the start. But I had a feeling I knew where you were going with this, and I think we're in the same ballpark.
Izak Rankin?
Yeah. So we're speaking, just to put a time on this because it's going to move, we're speaking Tuesday morning. There's every chance that the sanction comes out later today, and I believe it's looking at a 4 or 5 week sanction at this point for Izak, which 5 weeks would rule him out for the entire season. 4 weeks would mean he's a chance of playing the grand final if the Crows went the long way and lost the first week.
It couldn't be 4, though. How could it be 4?
It's August going into September. Jack Graham got 4.
So Jack Graham self-reported.
Yep.
Izak didn't.
Yep.
Collingwood reported it.
To the AFL or to the Crows?
I'm not exactly sure how the AFL became aware of it, but what I can tell you is that Collingwood players are not happy.
Yeah. Collingwood players made, I believe, the Crows aware of it.
Yep.
And then the Crows took it to the AFL, which is not self-reporting.
It's not self-reporting at all, so he can't get 4. And it's happened not long after Jack Graham.
Yeah.
So the base has to be 5.
I didn't agree with the Jack Graham 4 weeks because Will Powell got 5 weeks last year and he self-reported.
Yeah, that's right. So the AFL have created a bit of a rod for their own back here. Having said that, Mitch, I might be in the minority here. I don't know. I haven't spoken to enough people about it. But I like that they're coming down hard on this stuff. Now, it hasn't changed the behaviour in 18 months.
That was what I was wanting to bring here.
Yeah.
How, unless you have been living under a rock on the other side of the world, have you not realised that this is an issue in the game?
Yep.
Izak Rankine is now the 6th player on an AFL list to have been investigated for homophobic slur. In what world has he been living?
Yeah, and I think people you speak to, players and coaches, will say things like, well, when you're poked and prodded in the heat of the moment, weird things come out of your mouth. And I accept that on face value, that people react in different ways. What I don't accept is this apathetic, empathetic kind of, oh, well, he didn't mean it. Well, it's just a weird thing to say. Like, I always thought on the footy field that, if people got hot under the collar and reacted, well, you call someone a weak prick, or you say, go get a hard ball, or, you have a go at their character as a footballer. But to use language that involves any form of resentment towards the makeup of an individual, whether that be their sexual orientation, whether that be their religion, whether that be their race, anything like that, to me is just on a human level very odd. And if you want to take it further, extremely disrespectful. Because now I know a lot of people will shrug and say, oh, well, the person that he was saying it to isn't gay. Well, first of all, how do you know? Right? Well, people don't walk around with it written on their T-shirt.
Yep.
And second of all, it's not the point. Like, the chances of someone hearing it in the vicinity who either is gay or knows someone close to them who's gay or has a relative who's gay, it's deeply offensive, and it's something that we really need to cut out. So, yes, the AFL have maybe been a little bit inconsistent in their approach, but having said that, at least they're standing for something.
Yeah.
And I don't – look, I have empathy for Izak potentially missing a grand final. I don't really have empathy for him being suspended. That's just a personal view.
It's a big price to pay.
It's a
but
big
getting
price
back
to pay.
To the right at the start, just don't say it.
Yeah.
If this was Jeremy Finlayson at the start of last year, I couldn't, before the Finlayson, when's the last time anything like this had happened?
Well, so that's the other thing.
Again, not to say what Jeremy Finlayson did was right under any stretch.
No, I understand what you're saying.
But it came out of nowhere.
And that's the other thing. So I asked Lloydie and Jimmy this, and maybe it's hard to answer it properly on air, but this stuff must have been going on for a long time.
Yeah.
And was just never reported. And so now it's being reported, it's being punished.
Yeah.
So I understand that there's a frustration from footy fans of, well, this stuff's gone on for forever and a day. But what I would say in response to that is a lot of things in the world were more acceptable at one point, and as we became educated about said topic, became less acceptable afterwards. And I don't want to get into a whole philosophical or anthropological debate about human existence, but we learn as we go. And what we know is that this is just entirely unacceptable.
Yeah. And the AFL tell us and the PA tell us that these players go through more education than anyone. You know, Izak Rankine's living in the same city where Finlayson was hauled over the coals for a week. Yeah,
also, and our tradies community is very educated. I know people would have seen this all over socials, but like the word he used, when was the last time you even thought about that word, let alone used it? It's just weird, man. It's weird. What does that word even like? Yeah. How does it even enter your mind?
Yeah.
Just a weird thing to say.
And then if you're a Crows teammate going into a final series and you don't have one of your best players.
You'd be livid.
And at what point does we need to support Izak to, no, there's a serious disconnect now. Like that point will come in time.
And it's going to become an issue for them because they're going to finish top, right? And have they got North at home this week?
Not at home, but it's in Melbourne.
Okay, so they should have an easy kill in North. Yeah. No disrespect to North, but top of the ladder.
They'll host a home final against probably Collingwood or the Suns.
It's probably going to be the Suns.
Yeah.
And Mitch, what are the chances if you were opening a market right now? Gamble responsibly. If you were opening a market, what are the chances that Matthew Nicks in his press conference ahead of his qualifying final is asked about missing Izak Rankine?
Oh, close the market.
$1.01.
Yep.
It's going to be a distraction for them. Now, again, I'm not trying to paint Izak Rankine out to be Satan. He's made a mistake. We all make mistakes. But the price that he is going to pay is going to involve a lot more than just him.
Yeah. It's going to involve more than just the 4 or 5 matches.
Yeah.
It's not 4 or 5 home and away matches. It's not Will Powell last year that missed them in a season where the Suns didn't make finals.
And if the Adelaide Crows do not win the premiership from first, or God forbid, don't make the grand final, and Izak's sitting on the sidelines, again, rightly or wrongly, it is going to be directly tied to this incident. Now, whether he said it once or whether he said it more than once, I think that's part of the investigation that the AFL are taking their time with. I just put a caveat on all of this. I really hope there's a really easy way for the AFL to do this, right? And that's just come out and give him 6 and say, look, we warned you. This is where we've been going. It was always heading this way. We don't stand for it. If they find a way to manipulate it because, he rang the Collingwood player and he apologised and blah, 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 he's shown contrition, and they give him 4 and leave the door open, it will be in part embarrassing for the AFL, I think. That, again, personal perspective. I really hope that Andrew Dillon and the AFL don't do that.
And there's been a change of leadership too. So you remember last year when Finlayson got 3, Powell got 5, Stephen Mead was the decision maker.
Stephen Mead, who's the head legal counsel at the AFL and was up until recently in charge of integrity.
And was on the executive, now no longer on the executive.
Yeah, he'll still have a big say on this one.
Yeah, but not as much as he did previous times. It was Finlayson got 3, Powell, these will continue to increase.
And Laura Kane was obviously a big part of that as well.
And now the rhetoric out of the AFL is every individual case stands up on its own 2 feet.
Yeah.
So the thought of 3 to 5 to more down the track is no longer the case. Just want to put that out there.
Yeah, so the people who will be involved in this decision will be Steve and me, Greg Swan, Laura Kane,
Andrew Dillon.
I was going to say, ultimately Andrew Dillon's the guy that decides the number. 6 is the easy one. And again, just sitting from afar, did they really need for it to go into Tuesday? Probably not. They spoke to both players on Monday. They could have just come out and held a press conference at 5 o'clock, Mitch. Allowed you to do it on the news at 7. Allowed Tom Morris to do it on the news at 7. Bang, bang.
6 o'clock, the news is on Channel 7.
Sorry, I said at 7 News. Allow you to do it at 7 News at 6 p.m. Allow Tom to do it at 9 at 6 p.m. The footy shows will do it.
Yeah.
And then by Tuesday mid-morning, it's kind of over.
Yeah.
We've now extended it. So if I went into the Herald Sun website now, it's probably leading with a live blog. The age probably running it high. We're talking about it. I just think they let this stuff get away from them a little bit too long. I know they talk about due diligence and good governance and all that sort of stuff, but in the end of the day, you're running a footy code. We're not sending rockets to the moon.
Yep. Well, that's that.
See you next week for the Aero Time.